Hey, what's going on, RC drivers? Welcome back to the workshop. This week I was going to work on our Max project, phase 2, where I put on the wide Max kit. I even got the sledgehammer tires for it. That's gonna be really cool, but even if I finish up the build, it's been snowing out, so I can't even go drive it. So I figured, why don't I look for something else? And then I remembered I got the deep tracks in for the Traxx set that we reviewed a while back. And I think it's gonna look really cool on our Ultimate TRX-4 build. So I have everything over here on the bench. Let's go see what we're gonna do in this video. So here's what we're working with. I've got the Ultimate TRX-4 build back out on the bench. This rig came out so sick. I just love the way this looks. If you haven't seen this project series, I'm gonna put a playlist at the end of this video. Definitely check it out, highly recommended. Then over here, we've got the Traxx set. I have already reviewed this as well. I'll put a card up above to the review. But when I was done with the review, I put the Traxx back in the box. They're great for, the box is great for storage. So it's just been kind of sitting, waiting for winter. Now's the time to use it. It's gonna go on our TRX-4 build. It's gonna look really cool. But the big deal here is kind of these aftermarket parts that are available for the Traxx set. So we are going to install the deep terrain tracks. These look really awesome. They've got a really tall paddle on there for just ripping through snow. And then while I was looking through the option parts for the Traxx set, I found this stuff. This is the cap set for the end of the tracks here. It replaces the composite cap. And then over here, I've got the aluminum GTR set, hard-coated GTR shock set, and that replaces the composite shocks. And then I saw they have optional springs for the shocks, so I got those as well. These are the tan springs, and these are a little bit firmer than the springs that come on the Traxx set. I figured since our TRX-4, it has a bit more weight than the stock TRX-4, a firmer spring would probably be better for that. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pull everything out of the box and just start assembling it, and we'll see how it looks when it's all together. And I'll let you know if there's any tips that you need to know for installing this stuff along the way. Now it's time for me to get to work. Check this thing out. Doesn't this thing look wild? I've got our Ultimate TRX-4 build converted over to a track vehicle, and this thing looks absolutely wild. I love the way it looked before, but now with these tracks on here, it just looks so aggressive. I can't wait to go tear up some snow with it. But swapping everything out was pretty easy. I've had experience with the tracks before, as I mentioned, so bolting them on was no problem. And just a side note, they do fit just fine with the aftermarket aluminum carriers and everything, the portal covers. So if you had a question about that, that answers that. But swapping the deep terrain tracks out was easy as well. All you have to do is remove one screw in the track and collapse the front arm and slide the old track off, slide the new track on. Just be aware of the direction. While you have everything apart, it's a good idea to go and clean things up if you need to, and then double check that the tension arm is the right length that it's supposed to be, and then just put it all back together. It was fairly simple. I also went ahead and put the GTR dampers on there, the aluminum ones. Just be aware that there is a spacer in the rear shock when you're assembling it, and if you still have the instruction manual that came with your Traxx kit, it'll show you where to put that. But I just took the shock apart, filled it up with oil. It comes with oil in the shock kit. I use those tan springs, which are a little bit firmer than the stock springs that come with the Traxx, and just bolted everything back together. I mean, everything fits where it's supposed to with Traxx's vehicles, so there's really not a lot of hand fitting unless you're doing something really custom with it. But if you're sticking with Traxx's parts, again, it all just bolts up. But after bolting everything on, I screwed the stub axle nuts in, the aluminum ones. Those look really cool on there, and they are available in different colors. And then finally, as a reminder, make sure you're aware of your gear ratio in there. If you're gonna go run these in snow, they suggest that you change your gearing up, and if you're gonna run on 3S. So definitely look at your Traxx manual and use the suggested gearing in your vehicle. I actually changed mine up a little bit. I didn't have the suggested 45 tooth, so I dropped a few teeth on my pinion. I'll just be aware of my temperatures as I'm out there driving it, but this thing looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like a beast with the lights on, and especially with the wheel well lights, it looks really awesome. I just stared at it for a while once it was done. It looks that cool. All right, time to head outside and tear up some snow. I've been waiting for this for so long. These deep terrain tracks are pretty awesome. This thing just muscled through the snow, had plenty of traction, and I was just impressed with some of the stuff it was doing out there. This TRX-4 that we built is a very cool rig. I have fun with it every time I drive it, and you know, with these new deep terrain tracks on there, it was awesome. I can't wait to get out there in the snow again. My problem is I burnt up the motor. Yeah, I couldn't cheat the system by dropping the pinion down just a few teeth. I guess it really needs that pinion change and spur gear change as well. So I'm gonna order that up and a new motor. I was only running on 2S, but it was going through some pretty deep snow. It was about 4 inches, 3.5, 4 inches out there. So it was plowing its way through the snow more than driving over the top of it. But still, I was impressed with you know, what it was able to crawl in snow. You know, the light stuff, it kind of sunk down a bit, but it did motor its way through a lot of stuff, which is pretty cool. The snow did pack up in the Traxx and kind of push them off a little bit, so you just got to be aware of that. If you see a Traxx stop, you have to stop and clear out the rollers, which, you know, understandable, things happen out there, but this is a pretty cool setup. It's just totally different, totally wild. And, you know, I had fun with it again. I don't think the stock Traxx could really handle that type of snow. So, you know, having these deep terrain Traxx for snow and mud is definitely awesome if you have the Traxx setup. But I can't wait to get out there again. If you guys want to see more of this thing drive around, let me know in the comment section. While you're down there, throw the video a like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and we'll see you back soon for some more RC driver videos.